dichotomy between love and lust I couldn't understand. I was influenced to take every relationship with a grain of sand. Missing the foundation of a family caused me great upset. The early years weren't kind, for I couldn't muster enough courage to love myself. For the misery and confusion I felt in learning the experience I hadn't planned. My heart went cold long before I learned how to manage. All my eyes ever saw was people taking advantage. I always yearned for some guidance, having to fend on my own, facing the cruelties of the world. I didn't know where to start. The soft touch of my Nana's hands grazing my hair as I fell asleep was all I remembered. After her passing, my life was ill-tempered. My father was the epitome of a stoic. I always thought as a young boy, what about being stone-faced and irrational was heroic? The detachment may be a barrier to being hurt, but putting on this act to show emotional toughness is rotting my mind. I'm going insane, and it feels like a movie when someone has had enough to rip off their shirt. Here I tell you, a loving household may work plentiful wonders. Yet, living in the absence of this, I wasn't able to grasp certain social cues. I was bottling up my emotions like a missile with a burning fuse. Who was I to have a deep conversation with, as I had no one to choose? Raising myself in a neglectful situation, I had nowhere to turn. Being the only child didn't help. Who could I talk to? I just wanted to learn what it felt like to be loved. There is no excuse for mistreating others based on your trauma. I am no saint, for I am guilty of the same clause. As the years pass and I grow old and wise, I realize that my awareness of the world has sparked my development. I'm not writing to you in search of pity, appraisal, or applause. For all that is good, I pray that my heart thaws. Friends, partners, family, my ties thickened and thinned like blood. It's bewildering to mention my disassociation with those who I was with, stuck in the mud. They were all swept away, out of my life so recklessly like a flood. Was it trials and tribulations, or trial and error? Every time it felt as though it was right, I could never be so wrong. If you looked into my eyes and peered into my soul, you would see the list of disappointments, a list that is so eerily long. My only regret since years prior was that I was living my life too fast. This was a thought of the past, as my desires to forgive and forget are here to last. I'm not in the market looking for new friends or a partner, but if you wanted to understand me, you would have read my story truly. It'll take you back into my past. All you have to do is ask. My doubts are just a depiction of the soulless entities that governed me. How could that be? Love isn't a tangible asset and cannot be carried out through a transaction. Every love taught me differently, from fatherly and motherly, to every action, there is a reaction, as they say. So, I ask that you spare me judgment, for I was not dealt the same deck of cards. Heroes are villainized by those who listen to the villain. My shoes are too deep. You could never step in and fill them. For the challenges I've faced in my past life, you'd be surprised to see me make it out alive. A true love is what I seek, for only then will my soul thrive. I've never been one to seek money and fame, as that is only given to the worthy but lame. Those who gamble in this life, indulging in immorality, think it's a simulation of a game. What a shame. If only this were just a game where we derived excitement, maybe I'd feel the same. There lies one margin of error in the absence of love. That is significant. Those who have been scarred understand the process of healing, a systematic change in our rhythmic frequency, which can only be fixed by the diligent. A man who has neglected to correct his past mistakes shall fall victim to them once more. This displays one's lack of remorse and awareness, and, oh yes, he is ignorant. People won't remember you for the money you made or left behind. They will posterize you for the legacies you paid forward and the lives you changed. The rite of passage which was bestowed upon me years ago that I stand by these days, I will continue to rise from my slumber each morning. With the burden of how hardship weighs, I endure the pain of my naivety and lack of love, which I know will affect my completeness. For when I feel the warm embrace of one who truly cares, the air will be filled with sweetness. But for as long as I know, there is a hole in my heart, an open wound. I do not know how to love, as I have never been taught how to love and can't recall the last time I felt it. My innocence is gone, and my soul is destroyed. How could one have ever imagined how empty darkness would feel? I've given up on so many. My faith in others and myself was irresolute, like a lost epiphany. It would take more than a miracle to save my heart, something soother to the ear than a symphony, for I am still that young boy at heart who feels lonely and scared. I'm forever entrenched in the depths of something I cannot fill.